Now that I've completed the blow drying segment, we're going to be moving into the curling portion of the examination. Again, there's a separate set of instructions that you'll hear in between, but you'll see that I've actually segmented out the head, still utilizing the same section that I had from the blow dry. Still at the left arch of the eyebrow, from the apex to the mastoid process in the back. Now all I've done is I have taken a horizontal section across the parietal ridge to isolate the top from the sides. Now the reason why I've isolated the top from the sides is because on the sides I'll have to do 4 curls, and on the top I'll have to do 3. An easy way to remember this is that inside there are 4 letters, S-I-D-E, so that's 4, and on top there's 3, T-O-P, so I have 3 curls up on top. You can use that little trick to help you remember that you have those amounts of curls to do on each portion of the head. Now, if you remember in our setup, you'll notice that I have a sanic strip on my setup. The sanic strip is there for a reason. Everything that comes in your bags for your appointments are placed there for an important reason. So please do use them. In this case, we have that sanic strip because the sanic strip is there to serve the purpose of testing to check if the iron is too hot. Again, you're working with a hot tool and we don't want to burn our clients. So before I go in with my curl, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my curling iron and I'm going to place that sanic strip inside the barrel of the curling iron. Now, you'll see that there is no change to the sanic strip whatsoever, but on the chance that it would return brown, it means that the iron is too hot. I no longer need the sanic strip, so I'm going to go ahead and dispose of that sanic strip. I'm then going to grab my rat tail comb and a clip. I'm going to be utilizing this clip for control. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kind of eyeball out 4 curls. So I'm going to make sure that my subsections aren't too big. And I'm going to utilize that clip for control and clip it out of the way. Now I'm going to grab my comb out the hair, and I'm going to establish a base. Now the curling iron you see me using today is a spring-loaded and has a very large barrel. The curling iron that you'll get at State Board will have a much smaller barrel. You can see that all I've done is I've fed the ends of the hair to the barrel, and I'm utilizing my comb to protect against the scalp. Now it's very important that you get in the habit of utilizing both a comb and a tool in your hand just to make sure that it's not going to be too hot. Now you can see that I've created this very large curl, in which case it does not look like a barrel curl. So these metal clips are called yavettes, and I'll be utilizing a yavette to roll this curl up, just like in the sides of the barrel. And utilize that yavette to form that curl. You can see that I have left with a very nice barrel curl. Now if you pay very close attention to where I've placed that clip, you'll see that that clip does not rest against the scalp. The reason why I do not want it to rest against the scalp is because since it is metal, it can heat up, and if it heats up, I will be burning my client. Now before I go back and pick up my set of tools, I'm going to be taking down my next subsection. Now again, making sure that I have adequate enough spacing to create 4 curls. So you can see that this will be my second, I'll split this in half, and I would have my third and my fourth. Still utilizing that duckbill clip for control. I do not need to retest my iron. I'll comb out that hair, establish myself a nice base, and make sure that I'm feeding all of the hair through to the ends and rolling it up against the comb, protecting from the scalp. You'll see that the rest of the 5 curls that I do will be accomplished in the exact same manner as the first. Placing my comb back onto my SMA, my curling iron off my SMA. Taking and placing my yavette off the scalp. You can see that I've created 2 barrel curls thus far. I'll continue to do so as I move up. Alright, now that we have finished the sides and I have the 4 curls on the side, you can see that my last curl I did not place a pin in because it curled very nicely and I didn't need a pin to secure that. Now as I work towards the front, it's very important to know which way I'm going to be rolling these curls. If I were to stand in front and roll it this way, which would be in a clockwise fashion, that hair would fall limp into the face. Now we again want to make sure that we're protecting our clients, so we're going to want to roll everything away from the face so it never falls into their face. Now with that logic, because I do want to show that I'm protecting my client, I'm going to be starting in the front and work my way backwards. You can see that I'm just going to take that hair, brush it off to the side, use that clip for control, pick up my rat tail comb, comb out the hair while making sure that I am controlling my tool. And here again, I'm going to establish my base. I'm going to feed the ends all the way through to the ends. And I'm going to be rolling that up against my comb on the scalp. Now it's really important that you utilize the comb to protect the scalp because again, we're looking for client protection and safety and infection control procedures. So just making sure that you're doing everything that you would do on a real person. And here you can see that the curl stays relatively nice, but just to give myself a little bit of working room to work a little bit cleanly, I'm going to be utilizing that yvette once again. And again, making sure that it's not resting up against the scalp or on the stem of the hair. And because I only need 3 curls up on top, I'll just divide that into my last third and finish this out. And that concludes the blow dry and thermal curling section of this examination.